Alright, so this is day 2 of me looking at this Gremlin Head-On board set. I think before I do anything drastic, I'm going to reseat all the chips, all the ROM chips, and put a probe to it and see if there's any activity. Could be bad sockets. I mean, we had at least one of these was bad, causing the sync problem, so it could be one of these one of the ROMs in this row having a bad, or maybe more than one having a bad socket. It could be, or maybe the processor's got a bad socket. Basically, I'm going to reseat everything and take them out, look and see what the condition of the pins are, and go from there. Now, if I do decide one of the ROMs is bad, I've got this board that I built. Don't know if it's going to work or not, but the idea is to replace all of the ROMs and put it on this board, put a large ROM on this board, and plug it in where the processor goes. I've designed this board to have 8 different games on it. There will be a switch that lets you select between 8 different games. I have not built up the ROM code for that yet. I do have the ROM codes for Head-On. But I would want to put also maybe something like Carnival. I don't know if Carnival would work on this hardware or not, but this board would work on a Carnival board as well, I would think. So yeah, basically I'll build up a ROM, and if I only have the one ROM code, I could put it in all 8 positions, and that would be fine for this board. So maybe that's what I'll do. Anyway, let me get started on this. I checked all the ROMs, pulled them all out, and did some light cleaning on the pins. They're all in really good, strong shape, look clean. The sockets don't look bad. I think they're going to make good connections, just as is. The processor, same thing. I took it out and did some light cleaning on the pins, and the socket looks like it should be fine. Just visual inspection, of course. There could be problems. I'll find out with the scope. So I'm going to be powering it up and probing around. Probing around with a scope on these. I'm seeing activity on the lower 7 bits of the address bus, and no discernible activity on the data lines. None of these ROMs are enabled except for this one. This one is enabled, and it's not driving the data bus with the addresses that are being accessed or being sent to it. And I've discovered an interesting thing here. Here's the schematics. They show only 6 EPROMs, 6 2708 EPROMs, but there's 7 here. And the numbers are strange. Like, it starts at 163 and comes up all the way to 167, and then it jumps to 192 and 193. So only the first 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, these first 6 are supposed to be populated through here. So why do I have an extra one, and why are these numbers different? So I'm going to have to do some research probably on that, but I'm thinking the ROMs are just not right for this board. I'm guessing. I don't have the other part of the schematics or the other part of the manual that might tell me what the part numbers are supposed to be. I'll see if I can find out. But yeah, that's what I've discovered. I'm going to keep probing. Okay, so I took this chip out, this buffer chip that is used to buffer the data lines, and I cleaned the legs and put it back into the socket, and now I'm starting to get some activity here. See, there's starting to be some motion, some activity on the screen. When I probe the EPROMs, it looks like all the address lines. Well, let me make sure the upper 2 ones. Hold on a second. No, yes, there's activity there. Yes, all the address lines have activity now, and all the bus lines have activity. So something is happening. It's trying to run some sort of program now. So this chip here, basically, I just needed to be cleaned up and put back in. The chip was not bad, evidently. Well, let me just pick one. Yep, there's activity now on that. So it's probably good. It just needed to be cleaned up. So let me keep probing around. Some of these socketed chips may be the same type of problem. Maybe I just need to clean them, and maybe that'll do something. Let me try that and get back with you. I pulled all of these RAMs out and cleaned the pins, but one of them had a weak pin and it broke off when I barely touched it. So I'm going to attempt to solder a new pin on. And I've done this before. It can be done. It's going to be difficult because there's not much metal to solder there, as you can see on the right hand end there. So what you do is you find an old chip that has good pins on it. This is one that's dead. I'll pull one pin off of this, and I've already put a little bit of solder on the little stub that I have on this. And I will do the same thing with this. Once I got it pulled off, I'll put a crap load of solder on the end of it, and then I'll hit it and hope that it sticks. It probably will. I've been able to repair worse than this. Let me get that done. Okay, so getting a pin onto this broken RAM was difficult, but what I ended up doing was shoving a pin inside the socket, plugging the chip in beside it, and then soldering the pin to the chip in the socket, and that seems to have worked. This chip looks like it's actually functioning. Now I checked the output on all of these. Everything looked good except for this one. This one appears to be bad. The output on it was flatlined. No activity, just kind of a little bit of noise, but it was not good. The other ones were nice and well defined. Another thing, I was looking at the schematics, and the sound output needs to go through this. This isn't the chip that's supposed to go here. This was an empty socket. Apparently chip goes there for the sound I/O. It's a 374 74 LS 374, and I found one on my spare pile, so I'll slap that in there. But that's only for sound output. It does not affect the game running, but I just wanted to mention that chip apparently is needed. So still don't know about the EPROMs. I don't know if this is correct, if these two are wrong, if they're bad. I don't know. But I do know that this RAM is bad, so I'm going to try to swap one out from my Carnival board. I'm going to be putting a 4027 here. It should work. It's faster than the 4015s, but I think you can put 4027s here and it will work, so let me try that. Well, as it turns out, I found a 4027 just lying around in a box, so I installed it here, and it is a good one. The output on this one is now good, so this 4015 is no bueno. It's bad. You can see the game is still not running, but at this point I feel pretty good that these ROMs or RAMs, these SRAMs or DRAMs, sorry, these are 4K by 1 DRAMs, but they don't have RAS and CAS. They don't have multiplexed addresses, but I'm confident that these are good because the output looks good. They all look the same. Now that doesn't mean they are, but at this point I'm kind of thinking these are good, and now we have a ROM problem. So now we're to the part where I'm going to start populating this board, but I don't have the EPROM programmed yet, so let me get it populated tonight, and or the next step is populated, whether I'll do it tonight or not because it's already getting late. But that's where we are with this. It's suspect the ROMs and basically replace them and see what happens. I think that's it for the second video. Thanks for watching. Not quite done yet. The RAM that I thought was bad, I noticed that one of the pins was tucked under, and then when I straightened it, it broke off. But I soldered a new pin on, and I plugged it in, and the output still doesn't look right. It is bouncing around, but it doesn't look right. And when I compare it to the 4027 chip that I have in there, the 4027 looks correct with respect to how the other ones look. So this probably is still bad, even though the pin was broke. So the screen looks like this at the moment. Let me push down on the RAMs a little bit and see if that makes a difference. Maybe I got some bad sockets. Oh, now see, that changed something right there. That socket may need to be replaced. That's the only one though. This one right here, if I push on it, it changes the screen slightly. On that one, wait a minute. I don't know. One of these sockets, maybe more than one. Oh, now then again, I don't know if I'm pushing something on the board and causing that. Anyway, I'm going to assume the sockets are good for now, and I'll focus on the ROMs, get that off my list, and then if it's still not running after that, then we'll return to the RAMs. All right, now that's the end of the video.